Okay, certainly congratulations to Winthrop. I thought they played very hard and knocked in some shots. Had a spurt there in the second half to get a little distance there, and we could never get it back to a workable margin. I think we cut it to 7. With that being said, I'm just thrilled with our defensive effort. Consistently, this team is on the defensive end of the floor is producing. I think they averaged 83 points and maybe 19 points below their average, and we just worked. This group has worked, and defensively, I just believe that if we keep doing what we're doing, and I know probably Buck fans are saying, wow, that's a big change. But we have tried to reshape so many things in our program, and the biggest thing we've tried to reshape is believing that defense and rebounding are how you win. It's taken a little time to reshape those ideas. But back-to-back nights, we've held high-scoring teams to 64 points. And we've really had one bad defensive effort in the Big South, and that was at High Point. Other than that, our defense has been terrific, and I believe in the long run that's going to pay off. Maybe not in the next couple games, but later in this season and certainly in the future, growing a culture of defense and effort and rebounding is, when you look across the country, that's what the best teams are built on. And we've never done that here, and we've made that shift. And you can see out there our effort is tremendous. Our defensive positioning was terrific with a couple missed assignments. We just didn't make enough shots to win. We simply did not make enough shots to win. But if we can night after night hold Big South teams in the low 60s, then over the course of time, that's going to really pay off for us. Because I just believe we'll eventually make shots. I'm anxious to see on film how open some of these shots were. I'm saying that a lot of them were really open. A few of them contested. But I'm just trusting that those are going to go in.
You talking about your shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say you contested a lot of their threes.
Oh yeah, we did.
I mean, you had hands on hand, but you had some open looks and some guys that normally make, some shots didn't make them.
Yeah, we missed a lot of shots, and I'm anxious to see on film. They shot 44% from 3, and how many of those were contested? And that's a good shooting team, so you give them credit. Sure. That's what they've built that thing on, is the ability to shoot the ball. And the Broman brothers, I mean, they shoot it really well. So, but I really believe we were there to contest most of them. Sometimes in rotation we got a little bit lost. The biggest way to stop teams from making threes is to do a better job of guarding our yard and keeping guys in front so we don't have rotation. But on the night, they made nine twos, 9 for 25 from 2, and we just got to keep working on the offensive end.
The 15-5 lead and then the 18-0 run by them where y'all could not buy a shot. I mean, obviously that was the difference in the game.
There it was.
I mean, it ends up being a 11-point halftime lead in a half where you played well enough to be in the lead. You had the energy,
sure.
the crowd was in it, your guys were intense. How you have those spurts now? You've had those in the last couple of games where you're just not scoring. And I know you don't like to talk about shooting, but is there an evaluation period now with your offense where you're going to maybe look at some things to maybe change to try to find?
Yeah, for sure. I think we got to tinker a little bit offensively. The other thing that I want to look at is what our substitution pattern, and if we did a good job of subbing. Sometimes we got off to a great start, and did we sub fast enough? And tried to leave that group in there maybe a little bit too long because they were playing really, really well together, and particularly on the defensive end. And maybe our substitution pattern we got to evaluate, and then we got to really look offensively at why we're consistently shooting in the 30s, and what we can do offensively to shore that up, to try to, if we scored 70 points, we'd have, 3 more Big South wins?
Mm-hmm.
If we scored 70 points every Big South game, we'd have 3 more Big South wins. So that's certainly something we got to look at on the offensive end and what we can do to improve that. The problem with that becomes the games now, the way the league is scheduled, the games we're playing every 3 days.
Right.
And so it becomes really difficult.
Kind of hard to make changes midstream. And you talk about the way the schedule sets up now over the next week. You go Monday on the road, you're on the road Thursday, you come home for Sunday. I mean, it's just one of those.
Yeah.
You're going to have to grind it out, and this young team's going to find out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in this team. I do. I believe in this young team. I believe in those young guys. I believe in them. And I believe in our veterans. And we are building something. We're trying to rebuild with a more solid foundation of defense and rebounding. And right now it's painful on the offensive end. But I believe in those guys. I love those guys. And that effort tonight was good enough to win. And the defense was by far good enough to win. We've had nights in here where Winthrop's come in here and scored 85, 90 points. There's no doubt that defense. And the rebounding was a little bit lopsided because they had 34 defensive rebounds. Okay, we missed so many shots. But we worked on the defensive end too. And we did. I mean, on the rebounding end. And we've been one of the top 2 rebounding teams in our league consistently. And so I just believe. I believe that we're doing the right things. I believe in defense and rebounding. I believe in effort and attitude, and this team is accomplishing that. We just got to score more points. And so we got to look if we're playing a little bit tired, because when you're tired, you can't make shots. And we got to look at maybe tinkering a little bit offensively.